Welcome back to Algebra 2. Today we are going to be solving linear systems with matrices. A couple of things we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to put a matrix into your graphing calculator, and then I'm going to show you how to solve a system using the matrices that you enter into your calculator. So let's take a look at these first two examples I have. Let's enter these into our graphing calculator. So what I need you to do, over on the graphing calculator, you're going to hit second, x to the negative first power, which are your matrices, and you can see here that I have matrix A, B, C, and D already set up. But if you look back at my examples, I only need matrix A and matrix B, and I need them to be 2 by 2s. I also need to enter the numbers into the matrix. So what I want to do now is edit. So I'm going to hit my arrow twice, go over to edit, and then I'm going to hit 1, which tells me to edit matrix A. And if I hit enter and enter, I get my first value. And I want to change that to a 7. It's actually already a 7. So I'm just going to hit enter again. And then I'm going to change the second entry into a 3. And my third entry I want to be a 5. Hit enter. And the second one I want to be a negative 2. Hit enter. Okay, so now I have my matrix in my calculator. Let's go back and let's put in matrix B. So you hit second, x to the negative first, over to edit, and choose 2. There's matrix B. I need to tell it I want it to be a 2 by 2. All I'm doing is hitting enter to go from the entry to the next entry. So I hit enter again, and now I have a 2 by 2 matrix, but I need to put a 12 in there. So I put 1, 2, and I got 2 2s. So delete that one and hit enter. And then I want a negative 8, so I just push negative 8 in my calculator and then enter. And then I want a 3, so I push 3 and enter. And now I want a negative 6, so I put negative 6 and enter. Now I have matrix B. Okay, so what do you do with these after you have the matrices entered? Okay, well, let's get out of our matrix menu. So go second mode, which is quit, and let's do some operations with your matrices. So I have 3 examples here of some matrix operations that we can do on the graphing calculator. So you can see by looking at my examples, the first thing I want to do is add matrix A to matrix B, and then we're going to multiply matrix A times matrix B, and then we're going to take a scalar of negative 2 times matrix A. So let's do the first one. So what I'm going to do is I hit second matrix, and I just choose 1, and that puts matrix A on my home screen. Now the calculator knows the operations with the matrices, so now I'm going to put a plus sign in there, go back second matrices, choose matrix B by pushing 2. Now the calculator says matrix A plus matrix B, and we're just going to hit enter, and it'll give us our answer. So there's our answer if we would add those 2 matrices together. And you can see over here that if you did the math, 7 plus 12 would give you 19, and 3 plus a negative 8 would give you a negative 5, and 5 plus 3 would give you 8, and negative 2 plus negative 6 would give you negative 8, and this would be our new matrix. And if you look back over here on the graphing calculator, you have that same exact matrix there for you. You do need to understand that the calculator shows you double bars at the front of your matrix and at the back of your matrix so that you know that's the beginning and the end. So the way it looks on your graphing calculator is slightly different than the way we write it by hand. Okay? So let's take a look now at example 2. We want to multiply matrix A times matrix B. So instead of re-entering and doing all those steps again, I can hit second and enter, and my calculator brings up the last operation that I wanted to perform, which was matrix A times matrix B. And again, that was second, enter, and that brings back matrix A plus matrix B. But I don't want to add, so I'm going to use my arrow to go back on top of the plus sign. I'm going to change it to multiplication and hit enter, and there is my answer for multiplying matrix A times matrix B. and it's that simple. Okay? So again, if we were back here at this example, the answer to the multiplication problem is right up there on your screen. It would be 93, negative 74, 54, and negative 28. And that would be the answer to that matrix multiplication. Alright, so let's do the third one here, where we're going to take the negative 2 times the matrix A. So on my graphing calculator, I'd type in negative 2, and then I don't actually have to put the multiplication symbol in there because the graphing calculator knows that that's multiplication. So I hit second and your matrix, and I want to use matrix A, so I put 1 and then hit enter, and there it is. And again, if you go back and look at example 3 there, if you multiplied negative 2 times each of those elements of your matrix, you would get exactly what it says on your calculator screen. Okay? So let's take a look now at how we actually solve a system of matrices, or a system of equations with matrices in the calculator. So I've got an example here, and kind of some steps. So the first thing with my example, here's my example. I have 2x minus 3y equals 19, and x plus 4y equals negative 7. The first thing you want to do is rewrite the system with matrices. And you really have 3 different matrices. You have a coefficient matrix, which is each of the coefficients from the system, and then they are placed into the matrix. And then you have a matrix of variables, which is just your x and your y. And notice that your coefficient matrix is a 2 by 2, and your variable matrix is a 2 by 1. So since these two are the same, you can do that multiplication. And your matrix of constants is the 19 and the negative 7. Those go into their own matrix, and that is also a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, so we want to set these two matrices up into our graphing calculator. Okay, so we need to put those in the graphing calculator, and I called this first one matrix A and the second one matrix B. So we're going to go back and we're going to edit those same matrices that we already used before. So hit second, matrix, whoops, I didn't hit the second, so just clear that one. Second, and then your matrix button, and let's go back over to edit, so arrow twice, and let's edit number 1. Now it's already a 2 by 2, so all we have to do is change the entries in the actual matrix. So I'm going to change this to a 2, enter, negative 3, enter. Did I miss the negative? Apparently I missed the negative, so let's see if we can go back over there. I just used my arrows to arrow back up and over. Now I want to put a negative 3 and hit enter. There we go. Now I need a 1, enter, and a 4, enter. Okay, now let's go ahead and go back to our matrix menu and over to edit, and we want to edit matrix B, which is number 2, and this time I want this to be a 2 by 1, and I'm going to get 19, enter, and negative 7, enter. Okay, so now we have our two matrices in the graphing calculator. I think I forgot to mention that this matrix B here is called your matrix of constants, because the numbers out here are your constants. Those are the things that don't change. They don't have variables attached to them. Okay, so back to the calculator. What I want to do now is go ahead and leave the matrix menu. So hit second, quit. I'm going to go ahead and clear my screen so that we have a blank screen to start on. What I want to do now is I actually want to take the inverse of matrix A and multiply it by my matrix of constants, which is matrix B. So you might be wondering, well, how do I find the inverse of matrix A? Well, it's really actually pretty easy because your calculator is going to do it for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our matrix menu. So hit second, x to the negative first power, and we're going to actually use matrix A. So I'm going to push 1, but now I want to find its inverse. So I'm going to push x to the negative first power. And now you can see on your calculator screen and on mine that I have a to the negative first power. I need to multiply that by matrix B. So I'm going to go back to my matrix menu, and I'm going to choose matrix B. And now my calculator screen says the inverse of matrix A times matrix B, and I hit enter. And there you have your two solutions. So if I went back over to my systems of equations example over here, I have x is equal to 5 and y is equal to negative 3. So you didn't have to do much work there, and you have your solutions to your system. You might not be sure that I'm right, so let's go ahead and let's get rid of some of this stuff so we can see our system again. And let's check our solutions. So let's substitute 5 in here for the x and negative 3 for the y. So I have 5 times 2 is 10, negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, and 9 plus 10 is 19. So that one does work out. Now let's check the second equation. So I'd have 5 plus 4 times negative 3 would be negative 12. And if I have 5 and I take away 12, I do get negative 7. So my answer checks. 5, negative 3 is the correct solution. And I know that you guys are all wondering, why didn't she show this to us 2 weeks ago or a week ago? Well, that's because I wanted you to be able to do it by hand on the test, but now you can use your calculators. Let's do a system of 3 now. Let's do a new example using a system of 3. And I've actually already set up the 3 equations for you, and I know that a lot of you have had questions about getting the equations from the story problem, but hopefully by now you're able to do that. This example says a gift company sells 3 types of movie gift baskets. A basket with 2 movie passes and 1 package of microwave popcorn costs $15.50. That's this equation here. The second sentence, a medium basket with 2 movie passes, 2 packages of microwave popcorn, and 1 DVD costs $37. That's this equation. And then my third equation comes from my third statement that says the super basket has 4 movie passes, 3 packages of microwave popcorn, and 2 DVDs, which cost $72.50, and that is my third equation. Let's take just a minute here to talk about what these equations say, what the M and the P and the D stand for, and let's make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So in my first equation, I have 2 movie passes, so I have a 2, and right here I have a 2M. So that means that the M is equal to number of movie passes. Actually, not the number of movie passes. That would be the cost of a movie pass. So M would be the cost of a movie pass. Okay, and then I have 1 package of microwave popcorn, and I have a 1P. So the P is the cost of the popcorn, and that is 1 package of microwave popcorn. Okay, and then in that first equation, I don't have any DVDs. That's because there's no DVDs in the smallest basket, and so there's technically a 0D in there. You can put it in there as a placeholder if you want to, but it's really not necessary. In my second equation, I do have 1 DVD. So I have a typo right here. Good thing we checked that out. We should have a 2, and this should be a 1. So everybody change that to a 1 in your example. Again, in equation 2, that should say 2M plus 2P plus 1D is equal to $37. Let's check the last one just to make sure. Oh, and I need to write over here that D is equal to the cost of 1 DVD. Okay, so the last one says I have 4 movie passes, 3 packages of microwave popcorn, and 2 DVDs. So that is correct. Okay, now let's look at what I did. I actually took the the equations that I wrote, and I rewrote them in a system of matrices. So this first row of the matrix, of my coefficient matrix, are the coefficients of my first equation. So I should have 2, 1, there's an invisible 1 there, and the 0 for the DVDs. So 2, 1, and 0, that's correct. The second row of my matrix contains the coefficients for my second equation. So I should have 2, 2, and remember this really should have been a 1 right there instead of a 2, but in my matrix I do have 2, 2, and 1, so we're good there. And then in the third row of my matrix I have the coefficients for my third equation, so I've got 4, 3, and 2, 4, 3, and 2, so we're good on our matrix. We also have our matrix of variables, which I use the M, the P, and the D, and then our matrix of constants, which are the prices of the 3 individual baskets, and you can see those. Alright, so I want to set up matrix A again, which is the coefficient matrix, and matrix B, which is the matrix of the constants. So I need to go back to my calculator, and we're going to hit second, x to the negative first, which takes me to my matrix menu. I'm going to edit matrix 1 to become a 3 by 3. Okay, so now I can put my values in. I have 2, enter, 1, enter, and there's a 0 already there, so I'm just going to hit enter again. Then I have 2, enter, 2, enter, and 1, enter. Okay, and then my third row, I want 4, enter, 3, enter, and 2, enter. Okay, so there's my coefficient matrix, that's matrix A. Go back to your matrix menu, and let's edit matrix B, which is 2. We want that to be a 3 rows by 1 column. So we're going to change that to a 3, enter, and it's already got 1 column, so I'm just going to hit enter again, and I'm going to enter 1550, enter, $37, enter, and $72.50, enter. I might have missed that 0. And as you guys all know, that's an insignificant 0. Oh, so the calculator's automatically dropping it for me. I didn't realize it would do that. It did drop it also on the $15.50. Okay, so we have matrix B also edited. So let's go back to our home screen. Let's do second mode, which quits. And let's go ahead. Now, here's something again. Instead of redoing and retyping all of that, we edited matrix A and matrix B. So we're going to use those same matrices again, and I could go through all the steps. I could go back to my matrix menu, get matrix A, take it to the negative first power, go back to the matrix menu, get matrix B, multiply them, get my answer. Or I can take a shortcut and I can hit second, enter, and it multiplies it for me again, and I have the solutions to my answers. The solutions to my answers. That didn't make very much sense. I have the solution to my equations. So I now know, and I'm looking at the lower half of this. It actually is kind of confusing the way the calculator did this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and retype it in. So I'm going to hit second, matrix. I'm going to choose matrix A. I'm going to take it to the negative first power. Go back to the matrix menu. Choose matrix B, which is 2. Hit enter, and there you can see the answer matrix again. So my M, if I go back over here, my M is 7, my P is 1.5, and my D is 20. So what does that tell us about those variables? that tells us, and again remember, a story problem deserves a story answer. So you would write a sentence that says, each movie pass costs $7. Each package of microwave popcorn costs $1.50, and each DVD costs $20. So you would have a story answer to go with your story problem. And we can make a fun little snowman out of our circles. And again, I know that several of you are wishing that we had shown you this before the test. But again, we do want to make sure that you guys are understanding the math, not just understanding how to use the calculator. It's very important for when you go on to college that you know how to use the math. So I hope you enjoyed this short lesson, and I hope you can use this with your graphing calculator from now on. And I'll see you back in class. All right, bye.